Yo, what is up? Today we are going to be looking at Surfshack Tito. I'd say one of Chris's more funny trolls, you know. He's probably my top 10 Chris trolls, but we're just going to get into what he did. You know, honestly, I don't know. He's probably one of the more harmless ones, I would say, rather compared to like Blue Spike and Loretta Janky, you know. I'd say he's probably one of the more harmless ones. I don't think he's quite. I feel like he's a little bit more harmful than Chris because of the PS3 destruction, but I'll get into that in a sec, alright? So, Surfshack Tito, his real name is Don, was a mysterious troll who first emerged in February 2010. The nickname Surfshack Tito is a reference to the surf shop owner from the Nickelodeon kids cartoon Rocket Power. During the exchanges with Chris, most of them from Tito ended with a Tito-styled word of wisdom and an infamous copy pasta about Tito most likely inspired the choice to go with the name. Tito gained notoriety in March 2010 when he took credit for the end of Chris's relationship with the Wallflower, causing Chris to make multiple videos openly raging at him, including one where he said the N-word. Judging by Chris's initial response to Tito, it is safe to say he initially thought that the actual Tito from Rocket Power was trolling him, before eventually realizing at some point he was just a character played by a troll. For the next year and a half, Tito continued trolling. His troll plots included tricking Chris into smashing his PS3 and leaking photos of Chris cross-dressing. He was eventually called out by Chris, leading him to making an apology video before abandoning trolling due to him being busy with high school. But that was just the overview. We're going to go into everything in a bit more detail, like his PSN hacking. On the 24th of February 2010, Tito first appeared by hacking into Chris's PSN account. Nothing much came from this, and the trolling move had already been done 3 times prior. Chris addressed Tito's PSN hacking in the short video posted on March 2010, where he gives Tito a curse shot. Alright, no further context, I guess. What the fuck is a curse shot? On March 9th, 2010, Chris made a little Big Planet level, which he used the Wallflower's pen name. Using this information, Surfshack Tito and some other trolls managed to find out the Wallflower's real name. Tito then created a quickie page about the Wallflower, which involved all of this real information. Finally, he sent a link to the page to the Wallflower, leaving her horrified by all the personal info on the site, and leading her to cut all ties with Chris. Tito started emailing Chris, taunting him over the loss of the Wallflower, leading Chris to make Tito Got No Luck Against We Brits, Irish and Scots, his second and most bizarre video addressing to Tito, threatening him with a pocket knife while wearing a Scottish kilt, repeatedly saying the Wallflower's real name. Tito began riling up Chris even more by suggesting that he was dating and having regular sex with the Wallflower, sending Chris a photoshopped image of a big black man, who Chris assumed to be Tito, standing with the Wallflower. Chris bought this narrative, repeatedly asking the Wallflower to leave Tito in a video addressed to her. The Wallflower, an attempt to get Chris off her back, actually played into this narrative by calling Tito her boyfriend. These events happened shortly before the 10th anniversary of Sanchu. Chris, at peak anger, began emailing Tito, calling him an N-word hard R 3 times, and threatening to track him down and murder him. Chris reiterated this sentiment in the most iconic video from the saga, threatening to murder Tito multiple times before calling him a trolling, stupid, pickle suit, N-word hard R, and ending the video. The saga rattled Chris so much, around a week later, he claimed that he would leave the internet forever, starting the first exile, where Chris repeatedly tried and failed to leave the internet. Tito was a frequent poster on Troller Train, along with Clyde Cash. After Clyde and Tito put up a $9,001 bounty for destroying Chris's PS3. Chris would claim it himself by destroying his own PS3. After he emailed Clyde a few times, Clyde forwarded him to Tito, who managed his money. Tito was not as lenient as Clyde, rattling off reasons why Chris was unable to claim the bounty. Clyde intervened with this, saying that he enjoyed the video of Chris destroying his PS3 and to give Chris the money. Tito told Chris they could meet up at the game place, telling him he would spend the money on hookers. Chris refused to go there, and they rescheduled it to a Chick-fil-A in Fashion Square Mall. However, one of Clyde's Asian technicians told Tito the PS3 was still intact. To prove it was completely broken, Chris had run over all separate pieces of the PS3, which had finally convinced Tito. Tito told him to meet at the Starbucks in Square Fashion Mall, where he would be approached by a female agent with a pickle tattoo on her breast. He was videotaped sitting at a chair in Fashion Square, creepily staring at women, possibly trying to spot a pickle tattoo. No agents would walk up and give him the money, leading to Chris writing an angry email to Tito. Tito responded stating that he had already given the money to a man who said he was Christian Weston Chandler with a Sonichu medallion, high school ring, and brown shirt. Tito was the one to leak the Tom Girl pictures on the 28th of April 2011, along with supplying his own commentary on them. Chris decided that being a man was too much work. It often involved stressful activities such as getting a job, exercising, and supporting a family. The role of a man was too stressful for the life of Christian Weston Chandler. He decided he would take the route that was easier for him, the path that he was so familiar with in high school. The man-child felt that he could identify being a lady that had vast experiences of hanging out with girls in the cafeteria. Chris decided that being in touch with his feminine side would get him the true key in his quest. But wait, does that make him gay? Not in Chris's lifetime, it doesn't. Thanks to 3 months of dry spell and constant hours of TV have diluted him. Based on the archetype you would see on movies, TV, and video games, you would learn of the tomboy. The girl with boyish features would allow her to be swarmed by the opposite sex with her short hair and appreciation of the Dresden dolls. Not if a girl could do it, so could a boy, Chris thought. Thus, he had coined the term Tom Girl, a man in touch with his feminine side and totally heterosexual. Almost a year after the PS3 incident, Chris Chan called out Tito publicly, bragging about having his real name, Don, in a supposed photo of him. Tito's full name and the supposed picture have both never been revealed, though Chris describes him as being so fat he'd make the Buddha look like a supermodel. Chris threatened to release the full name and picture unless Tito met his demands, including apologizing to the Wallflower, who he calls his ex-girlfriend, along with saying her real name again. Other demands included coming forward to Sony for hacking Chris's PSN, and for Tito to give him $1,000. This, of course, intimidated Tito, leading to make an apology video where he anxiously stated that he would meet Chris's demands and left the internet forever. Nevertheless, Tito didn't end up giving the money he demanded, and revealed by the Thorg Q&A. Despite this, Chris didn't reveal his identity either, possibly after realizing that blackmailing is a crime. The Q&A also reveals that the reason for Tito's retirement from trolling was that he was busy with high school at the time. Other trolls have implied that Tito has insider knowledge of the events of the 28th of October 2011. But here, I'll show you the apology video right now.
Hey, little cuz, or Christian Weston Chandler, if you prefer. It's me, Tito, or Don. Listen, man, I got some sand in the potato salad this time. You caught me, cuz I admit it. I sold the security files of Sony to the hackers, and I'll get you the money. I'll get you the $1,000 and the interest. Just don't release that video with the picture of me. Just don't do any more, man. I'll do anything. I'll be a slave for a whole week if I have to. I got people after me. I can't have them finding out who I am. Just be a cuz, man, and don't let me down. I won't let you down.